To God be the glory. Man, grateful and thankful we're able to come out and play a game that we love. Not happy with the outcome, obviously. But, man, I was proud to see these guys not quit. Memphis is a really good team. And that's just, when it boils down to it, like they're 14 in the country for a reason. I thought they were really balanced, being able to score it inside out. Danger is as good as advertised. Thought he did a really good job of giving them an inside presence that they really haven't had a lot this year. He's mostly a guy that does his damage on the glass, but man, he had some post moves in there tonight that were pretty impressive. Haggerty, he's a guy guys, he's top 10 in the country in scoring. Man, I thought we did a pretty good job on him. He still got 18, but it took him 17 shots to get it. So, like I said, man, on a night like this, if you're gonna beat Memphis tonight, man, you got to make shots. Because I thought in the first half we guarded well enough to be in the game, but untimely turnovers really helped that game get away from us. We're down 15 at halftime. And at halftime, they had 13 points off our turnovers. So if you're going to beat a team like that tonight, you got to take care of the ball, and then you got to make big shots. And we didn't do that.
All right, we'll have a question for Kobe.
Kobe, the matchups against Memphis on the perimeter. Talk a little bit about how they attacked you, what you saw him looking for.
Yeah, like Coach Fletcher said, they had a lot of scorers on the outside. We knew that coming in, guys that can make shots from the outside. So, we just got to do a better job of guarding the quickness. I feel like they penetrated the lane and got open looks for their shooters. So we got to keep guys in front of us a lot better moving forward. And we'll see them again, so we'll know how to game plan better. And, like I said, they hit shots, but a lot of the shots were wide open, so we got to contest those shots better.
Did you feel like you guys had a lot of open shots within, the half-court offense?
Yeah, I feel like we did a pretty good job of sharing the ball tonight. I mean, shots just weren't falling, and that's basketball. Guys are in the gym all the time. We got the most confidence, and everybody knocked down the shots, but the shots just weren't falling tonight. So we got to find other ways to score. I feel like sometimes at times we was living on the outside. We got like their coach was telling us drive the ball, get in the paint, and they had good size down there, but we just got to finish. We missed a lot of layups, including myself, just missing a lot of layups at the rim that were makeable. So it's just something we got to do better.
When you look at Memphis, it looked like what they would do is put the two shooters in each corner, just run high ball screen, and here comes the guy to the basket. Now you got to make a decision. Do you come help and let this guy? And when they're making jump shots, they're tough to beat, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a tough team, especially when they're making jump shots, just because they're good off the bounce. So like I said, just keeping the ball in front of us, better ball screen coverage for us, and making adjustments. I feel like at times we were going a stretch where they weren't shooting good at the field. We were getting stops. But then that goes on to the other side of the floor. We weren't making shots, so we got to make shots when we get stops, and when we get stops and run, we got to convert.
You played big teams before. They're really long with everybody. How hard is that when they just get like fingertip to fingertip there?
Yeah.
You try to go to the basket, there's not a lot of room, is there?
No, not a lot. And that's what we do a good job of spacing the floor. We just got to do a better job of spacing the floor, getting the shots. And like I said, even though they were a lengthy team, we got the good shots. Just knock those shots down. I feel like we can compete with anybody. Even though they're number 14 in the country, it didn't really phase us coming in. We knocked those shots down. It's a completely different game.
Coach, I got two of them for you. When you play an A-level team, you got to have your A-level game. You had everything but the shooting. That's got to be frustrating standing there, knowing you're getting good shots and just not dropping.
Man, it is. It is tough when the design comes to fruition. It's hard because they're a team that they have a really good interior presence defensively. I mean, Cisse and Danger are as good and physical as any 4 and 5 in our league. So they made it really tough on Mill inside. They forced him outside the paint, whereas we wanted him to get a bunch of high-low touches, and they did a really good job of denying him. But like I said, that's a different level of physicality. One that we hadn't, at least Jamil, outside of probably Florida, he hadn't seen that type of physicality. So I thought they did a really good job of bothering him in that first half. But I thought he settled in the second half, but it was too much too late, man. Had too many fouls, man. Was struggling in there. But that, like I said, once again, guys, they're a really good team.
Coach, the toughest thing about playing Memphis, in my mind, is they can play small ball, but they can go really big across that back line where they're going like 6'8", 6'11", 7 foot. How much of a problem is that to see that different kind of concept?
Well, when they go small, we're okay with that. But when they go big, that's a problem. Not having Deontay Green shows in a game like this where you get Mill in foul trouble and you need some size in there. And Deontay, gave that to us. You get Mill in foul trouble, and it's hard to ask Brandon and Q. And kudos to Coach Hardaway. He did a really good job. I didn't expect them to play them together, and they have, but I thought they would be worried about our skill on the perimeter, and they would stay away from that lineup. But now he stuck with his guns and did a really good job. It worked out for him.
Coach, was the key for you guys, once the shooting wasn't there, to hold them to one shot, get their defensive rebound, try to transition, or maybe get an offside dribble penetration so somebody could kick inside?
Right. So what we really wanted to do, starting, it was probably 12 minutes to go, and we really weren't making shots at the time. So we wanted to extend the game. I know you guys are ready to get home, but we were trying to score with the clock stopped. So we knew we were close to being in the bonus. So we wanted to create double gaps so guys can drive, possibly get fouled. And now we can score with the time stop, and that gives us a chance to set defense. And then what we wanted to do defensively, we wanted to change the look up on them. So we would show zone, and then after a certain number of passes, we would go man. Or we would go man, and then we would change it up and try to go zone on it, just to try to disrupt rhythm. And I thought it did, and we had a chance to get that thing down to the single digits, man, and we had one roll in and out on us. And I think if you hit that one and you get it to single digits, you got pressure back in the game. Now you can really try to get something accomplished.
Coach, you think about their shooters, Tyrese Hunter, P.J. Haggerty, Colby Rogers. How tough of a defensive matchup is that to stay involved with, like possession by possession?
It's tough because they're probably top. I want to say they're top 2 in the country, 3-point percentage wise. And so now they do a really good job of ball screens, and then where you normally would have to tag, they put you in those long tags. So now you got a decision to make. Do I pull over and stop the lob at the rim because they got 2 big lob threats, or do you stay in between and try to make a play on it? Well, it's hard to do that because their guards are so good at, as soon as you bite one way, they go the other way. So we had to try different ball screen coverages to try and keep the ball in front of us and make them take tough contested twos, as opposed to having Mill out there trying to level it off. And now that just makes it a long closeout for your guards on the back end. That's hard. So I thought in the first half it bothered them. And had it not been for our turnovers, I thought we would have been in that game in that first half.
Coach, what was your message going into halftime to the team?
Man, I told them, I said, guys, we're down 15 right now. And at that point at halftime, they had 13 points on our turnovers, which to me, we did a good job against the press. All right, they were just unforced. I mean, we had a backcourt violation where we threw it in the backcourt. So just like I said, uncharacteristic turnovers that led to their points. Like live ball turnovers we had, just guys, I don't think they were nervous, just trying to make plays, right? And it's just, sometimes you just got to make the simple play. Like instead of faking it here and trying to go make the home run play, man, we talked about hitting singles. Like baseball terminology. The baseball really tonight? Tomorrow? Okay. See, man, late night, man, it got me. We wanted to hit singles. Man, hit enough singles and we'll score. But like, man, when you get behind, it's human nature to think, man, I got to take this shot. I got to hit this big 3 right here. And it doesn't work that way. You got to keep hitting singles, chip away, and then bang, you're back in it.
Coach, you had them at like 27, 30 points with about 4 minutes to go in the half, and
and you just knew like we weren't hitting shots, but you're just still hanging around. Did you feel like you had to grab the game right there because before they started kind of finding their rhythm, you guys needed to start hit some shots and put some pressure on?
Well, we just needed to have one guy step up and be a dude. Because like I said, if you're gonna beat them on a night like this, like I'm not saying you have to play your best, but you got to shoot it better than where we shot it. You know, we got good looks, and if I'm telling you, if two of those threes go in and we get a little confidence, it's a different ball game. But then what happens is, you know, we miss some good looks, and then our guys are pressing. You know, they're putting pressure on themselves, and it's like, nah, man, be confident shooters. You guys work too hard, and we work on these things all the time. Like, just be confident shooters. Let it fly. You know, just make sure we're taking the right ones. And like I said, I thought we got out of character once we got down, and we took a couple that, you know, dribble, and then shot. I'm like, no, that's not what we do. That's not South Florida basketball. It's paint threes. That's what we want. Not around the perimeter, you know, not just hoisting. No, we're strategic about it.
You had the 17-15 lead with like 12 minutes left in the first half. Did they change their defensive philosophy, seeing you guys up like that and with what they wanted to do, which obviously was force the turnovers, play in the half court and get to the bigs?
Nah, it had nothing to do with them. You know, before I watched film,
Yeah.
I thought it was just us. Like I said, once again, just trying to make the home run play, where if you just hand it off, you're gonna have them in rotation. Once you got them in rotation, now anything can happen. Now we can drive closeouts as opposed to now we're having to try to create. And then they did a really good job of cutting us off. And now we can't drive and kick because we couldn't beat our primary defender. So like I said, on some of those plays, if we just hand it off, they put two on the ball, roll hard. Now we got to read the tag on the backside. All right. Now you got a chance to drive a closeout as opposed to a set defense.
You mentioned you were about one shot away from getting it down to one score there. You kind of feel it in the building too, like people were just kind of waiting. Is that important, like a teaching tool here? Saying, guys, we didn't have our best all night, but we were one shot away from really kind of flipping the momentum in our favor, and then that last 4 minutes is really anybody's ball.
Right, and that's you know you don't want to be in these situations a lot, but it is a learning situation because at the end of the day, guys, it's going to take us winning 3 or 4 games in Fort Worth to get where we want to go, and that's still a real option for us. Like when we're you know competing at a high level and we're making shots, like we're a tough out. I promise you. And I just think, man, we just got to keep getting better, work at it, stay together. And, man, good things are going to happen for this team. I believe that. They work entirely too hard. They've gone through entirely too much not to. You know, and if it doesn't, as long as we give the effort that we're supposed to have and we stay together, man, the chips will fall where they may.
Coach, you may not be able to answer this, but is Deontay a possibility for the tournament?
Oh, no.
He's done.
He's done for the
That's
year.
a shame.
Yep. Tough one.